Christian has been playing a leading role in forging the OUTNOW chapter here in New York, and he's going to speak to why he's involved.
Hi, New York. I'm Christian. I'm a new member of this RefuseFascism.org. I joined in November of last year. Now we're in 2020. This is a big year. This is a big year. This is an election year. This is where it's all going to come down to. It's going to come down to 2020. This is going to be a hard year, but we need to be in the streets. I got a flyer from RefuseFascism.org last year, and I needed to know what I could do, physically to get Trump Pence out. Now I couldn't just talk about it. I couldn't just tweet about it, go on Facebook, Instagram about it. I had to be in the streets about it, because when they say Trump Pence out now, we need to get our voices heard. We need to bring hope to the people that we can bring this fascist nightmare to an end. And why do we say fascism? We say fascism because Trump is consolidating the military around his own rule. We say fascism because he's ignoring the will of the people. He's ignoring the threat of climate change. We're seeing the world burning. And we're seeing climate change deniers running this country, denying anything is wrong. I have a niece and I have a nephew and I'm soon to have a niece. And I don't want them to grow up in a world where climate change has ruined everything, where we're on a planet that is on the brink, and we are on a planet that's on the brink. And we have climate change deniers in the White House, and worse, we have people willing to pack the courts with lifetime Republican appointments, conservative appointments. These people are against a women's right to choose. These people don't want a woman to have a right to choose in this country. They want Roe v. Wade gone. They've made it clear. Is that what it's going to take to get us out in the streets, to the removal of Roe v. Wade? Once you lose a right, how hard is it to get it back? We need to prevent us from losing our rights now. Because they've made it clear that that's what they want to take away. They don't want us to be in the streets protesting. We're not in fascist society yet. You want to know why? Because we can be out here protesting, organizing, making our voices heard. But that's not what Trump and the Pence regime want. That's not what their enablers in Congress want. They want us to be silenced. They don't want us to be out here. They want to hear our voices. They want to shut us down physically. They want to shut us down on the internet. They don't want any dissent. And that's fascism. Fascism denies the role of the free press. They've said many times, we want to lock up the media. We want to make sure that that nothing is free, that information is not trustworthy, that all you got is Fox News, that all you have is state-run propaganda machines to teach our kids, to teach us that nothing is wrong, all is fine, all is well, all is not well in this country. We have a person in the White House who encourages nothing but hate and cruelty against women, against minorities, against LGBTQ plus youth and people around the world. Is there tolerance coming from this man? No. Is there any compassion from the Trump-Pence regime? No. There are kids in cages on the border. Does it have to be American kids before we care? We have people we care about, but we need to show these people that we're not willing to stand by while other people with people that they care about are abused, are used up, are thrown away, are lost. We can't let that happen. We can't let our rights be thrown away. We're seeing, health and safety regulations being torn up. No votes on that by Trump and Pence. And not to mention flirting with war. Are we going to become okay with that? Trump had decided one day that he doesn't like somebody, going to launch a missile? Who has a say in that? We don't. He said that Congress doesn't. He said that the judiciary doesn't have a say. That's illegal. But we have a narcissistic megalomaniac with his finger on the button. I mean, what is it going to take to get us out here? What I realized for me And I can't control anyone else, and I know that. But at the same time, what I realized for me is that I can't just talk about it. I can't just be angry about it. I can't just go online and comment about it. That I gotta be on the streets with RefuseFascism.org. I gotta stay on the streets. There's a women's march in DC next weekend on Saturday. We're selling tickets, $20 on a bus with us just to go down and augment them and to say that we're not gonna let women lose their right to choose. We're already seeing it being rolled back in states that aren't New York, in states that don't have some compassion for their people. We're seeing that rolled back. Do we need to see Roe v. Wade gone before we get in the streets? We need to prevent that now, right now. We need to be out here ourselves. We need to be out in DC with the Women's March. We need to be supporting these other organizations. We've been doing that. We've been marching with other organizations. We've set up this ourselves. We've gotten permits to be here. We're here, and you might not like to be disturbed by us, but you need to be thinking about this. We need to be acting about this. That's why we're here. That's why we're making a noise. That's why we're getting out here and being loud and saying proudly, Trump, Pence, out now. Trump, Pence, out now. Trump, Pence, out now. That is what we need. He's already said that in 2020 he doesn't want to leave. But if he loses the election, is he going to leave? He'll just say it's an illegitimate election and not leave. We need to be ready to be on the streets now and ready to be on the streets then to say, get out of the House, get out of the White House. He said that he'll say that elections are just illegitimate if he loses. We need to be ready as a people to say no. And we need to be ready as people to say no now, that we're going to stop you from taking our rights away, that we're going to stop you from throwing the world into chaos, from supporting authoritarians, for being in Putin's pocket, quite obviously. And I guess that's all I have to say. But I'm going to stay with RefuseFascism.org. Join us, join the OUTNOW movement. If you're posting #OUTNOW! Make sure that we use social media to our advantage, not to divide us, but to unite us. Post these pictures, post these videos under the #OUTNOW! Banner. Join us at the Women's March. We got tickets. Sign up with us. Join us. Just talk about it. Take a flyer, take a sticker. Go to RefuseFascism.org. Find us, find out what we're all about. And follow us. We got Facebooks, we got Twitters. Please, we need your support now. Thank you.
I want you guys to give a warm welcome to Luan from the Revolution Club and the National Get Organized for an Actual Revolution Tour. Give it up for Luan.
So the first thing I'd like to say is, look, we are right to be out here. We are right to be out here, and we have to go out there and do what needs to be done. Calling forward the people who are needed to build this movement to drive out the Trump-Pence fascist regime. To grow a movement that's needed to come back into the streets not one day, but day after day, until they're gone. And look, I want to recognize and I want to speak to this very clearly to people. There has been a major change in the past few weeks that has just happened. These fascist strikes, these fascist attacks that the Trump regime put down on Soleimani. This country, what they did, this is an act and a threat of war. And I want to say that people, we are right to be concerned about what this means for the masses of people, but there's way too much concern over what could happen to a few people in this country, and not enough concern about what could happen to the people of Iran and the people who are living right now in the Middle East. We have to stand up and we have to stand strong, because American lives are not more important than other people's lives. Because we are needed now to drive out this fascist regime, uniting everybody who can be united to be a part of making this grow. And to all those in this recent period who've been stepping out in protest, who've been crying out and demanding a world without war, I want to say that this is possible. It is possible, but not through waiting and relying on this system, this capitalist imperialist system, which is destroying the lives of people here and all over the world. This is possible, but through revolution. I'm here speaking saw the vacuum, you should check out the work that he's done. Look into the new synthesis of communism. People need to understand that we are standing in a moment where we, people all over the world, have the possibility to get to a point where everyone's needs are met. But this is being held back by this system. This system, which is destroying the planet, destroying the earth. And right now, the most powerful country in the world has an open fascist in the White House that is causing destruction to the environment, that is preventing the masses of people to going forward. And we are the ones who are needed to call on those to make a difference real. Today in this movement, the OUTNOW movement, everybody has to call on themselves to take up responsibility, to go forward and call on those who are needed to continue to drive out this regime. This month is a month of resistance. It's a month of calling on those to get into the streets, to disrupt business as usual, and that's a part of what we're doing today. So as we're going forward, I call on everybody in this OUTNOW movement. No matter where you're coming from, we have to stand even stronger together. And our mission, our one single demand, to drive out the Trump-pinned fascist regime. And to those who have lifted their heads up in this moment to question what this country represents and what it has been to the people of the world, I challenge you to dig deeper. I challenge you to dig into what it means, what it would mean to make an actual revolution. Come talk to people who are in this shirt. Come talk to me. I'm Luan. I'm with the National Revolution Tour. We've been going across the country in this past year, speaking to people about what's possible, speaking to people about what's needed. But everybody, we are needed to do things that have never been done. Driving out a fascist regime, making this argument. And I want to say, it doesn't matter if you've never done this before. Nobody has ever driven out a fascist regime of this caliber before, ever. So we have to learn how to do this together. And every Wednesday, people need to know, you gotta tune in. There's live streams every Wednesday at 9 p.m. with RefuseFascism. There's meetings that are happening every week. Take responsibility. Join this movement.